hello. Can everyone hear me? Greetings, welcome. I am story reading rabbit. Story buns. Wonderful. Oh, my background music is still on. So. Oh no. Turn off my seat. Hello. I've been approaching this stream with some trepidation, if only because this is probably the part of the house in FATA Morgana, which, if anyone hasn't been following, is a game that has taken me like at least a year to read. This part of the story makes me really withered and sad. So I haven't really wanted to read it. And this is even compared to the second chapter, which also makes me withered, for a different reason. But hello. Anyway, as usual with FATA Morgana streams, I may not be very responsive, and by that I mean I will probably just be reading. But before we get into it, I'm going to have some tea. Hello. I'm going to have some tea. Cute. And I'm going to be so calm. So, as a recap of things that have happened so far. We are currently, I guess, in the observation tower's staircase, spiritually, delving into Michelle's... Actually, no, we've reached the top, and here we've delved into Michelle's hidden past. Things about himself that he hasn't wanted to reveal. And, discovered that, he was born Michelle LLE. He was born and assigned female at birth. However, as he's grown up, Michelle has, I guess, experienced the distaste of being femme, and then also thought, wow, I will never be attracted to a man. And he develops a crush on his brother's fiancée. Are you back to streaming? I do want to be back to streaming, but more than anything, I've been wanting to make some progress in the house in FATA Morgana because reading it has been so painfully slow. And I also am going to be away for a while until the end of the year. But I will be back in the new year, and hopefully we'll be, I don't know, doing things on stream again. Perhaps I'll scrapbook some more, or I'll read some more FATA Morgana because I guarantee we won't be finished by then. My bad, sorry. Well, see you right now. I am still here. No need. It's good to see you too. So, our protagonist Michelle has gone through puberty, and he's like, oh, my joints really hurt, and he has a hard time. But basically, he comes out of it realizing, oh, geez, I sure am male. I sure am male. I'm not a girl, no matter how much my mother wishes I was a girl. And he doesn't fit any of his clothes, so he bursts out of his room wearing a bedsheet and announces himself to the family, basically. And he discovers something through Amy, which I guess we will read now. That's where we are in the story. Oh dear. I don't usually make commentary through FATA Morgana because I feel like it ruins the magic a little bit, but I may do this time because the story... Because Michelle's backstory sucks. It really sucks. I mean that in every positive way, but oh, it's so incredibly ass. I feel really awful for it. I feel awful for everyone because this entire story is rife with awful backstories, but Michelle's really makes me squirm. Anyway, here we go. I received no visitors except the servants, and again, none of them would look me in the eye. Every day was the same, day in and day out, day in and day out. The only time the routine changed was when, on occasion, a servant would arrive bearing a letter. It was my mother's handwriting on the parchment. We lived in the same house, yet she refused to show herself before me. I had no choice but to respond to her letters. She demanded I speak like a girl, and I didn't have the strength to defy her. There was a constant sense of urgency to her letters, like she might fall apart completely at any second. So I did as she said. I signed each letter Michelle, the female name she bestowed upon me at birth, which I so despised. Every time I used that name, I felt like I was denying my own identity. On paper, she expressed her concern for me, but that concern only served to cause me more pain. So every time I took up my quill, my hands trembled. Mother prayed daily that my curse might one day be broken. Am I cursed? Is that why my body changed? Was it not because I was male? There's nothing there. What did she mean by that? Why did she look at me the way she did? How am I an abomination? Why? I don't understand. Someone, anyone, please tell me. Someone, please. I have brought your supper. I will be back shortly to retrieve your dishes. I'll be going then. Wait. What? Wait a minute. Yes? What do you need, Michelle? Are you a man or a woman? Pardon? Which are you? I am exactly what I appear to be. Which are you? I am a man. If that is all, I will be going now. Clothes off. What? Take your clothes off. Right now. Everything. Even your underclothes. Surely you just... Michelle. I'm very serious. I could not possibly. Why not? I could not expose myself. I ordered you to take off your clothes. You mean to humiliate me? I beg you, please reconsider. What are you? You're a servant of the Bollinger estate. And what am I? I am a child of the Bollinger family. I may be locked up, imprisoned in this room, but that doesn't make you any less my servant. Am I wrong? Clothes off. Michelle! I ordered you to take your clothes off. Not even the tiniest sliver of guilt arose in my conscience. I felt no shame in what I was doing. All that mattered to me was figuring out what Amy had meant. I wanted to find the truth, not knowing I would have been better off in the dark. His face twisted in humiliation, the servant undressed before me. In the dim candlelight, the man's body was shaped almost like a rectangle, and at a glance, he didn't appear much different than me. A second later, though, I found my answer. I found the one crucial thing he had that I didn't. Why? My lower body lacked the part that made a man a man. Are you satisfied, Michelle? It was then that I finally learned what a man's body was supposed to look like. I'm begging you, please allow me to dress. It would be an unbearable shame to remain unclothed any longer before the young Bollinger daughter. Daughter? You still insist on calling me a damned girl? Look at these shoulders, my chest. Listen to my voice. How can you possibly think any of that belongs to a girl? But how you appeared does not... There was a distinct look of fear in the manservant's eyes. Not out of respect for our difference in rank, but out of disgust for this incomprehensible thing standing there before him. Those trembling eyes, and the reality dangling there before me, blew the lid once more off everything I had been holding back. Without that, you would be no different than me. Or everything else. Everything else is all the same. So why? Why does it make such a difference? That you have one and I don't? Michelle, I am a man. I'm a man just like you. I am no one's daughter. And if you still insist we're not the same, then I'll make you like me. Without that, you're no different than me. It was a mix of dread and panic that pushed me over the edge. And so, in order to keep myself afloat, I decided to bring another pain. Please don't do this, Michelle. In a blind frenzy, hardly even aware of what I was doing, just riding the current of my erupting emotions, I swiped a knife off the tray the man had brought, knocked him down, and climbed onto him.
I'll get rid of it. I'll make you the same. Without it, you'll be just like me. Get off me, please. Someone help. I'll make you just like me. Get in here, someone, anyone. Michelle. She's delirious.
Through the fog of hysteria, I suddenly realized I was surrounded by several servants, and the next thing I knew, I was on the floor beneath them. There were as many, if not more of them, than when I had made the scene in the Great Hall. A dozen men servants stared down at me, their eyes filled with fear and revulsion. And in the shadows beyond the crowd, I saw Mother looking in on me with vacant eyes.
Mother, why? Why will you only speak to me through letters? Why do you say I'm cursed? Mother, I'm male. I was always male. Tell me that I am, Mother. Let me out of here, please. I'm not delirious. My head is perfectly clear. I'm normal. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not cursed. Mother, say something.
After that, I was shut in my room again, and even the servants stopped coming. I pushed and I shoved and I pulled and I pounded with all my strength, but the door and windows didn't budge. A day passed, and then another. With no food or water, I started fearing death was upon me. I had no idea how miserable it was to go so long without water. My throat was dry and cracked, and it felt like it was on fire, making breathing difficult. 2 days. 48 long hours. I felt like I was going to lose my mind. After just 2 days, my skin stretched tight across my bones, looking hard and dry in the soft candlelight. Water. I need water. Someone, please give me water. Why won't anyone bring me any? Why? My family had abandoned me and were leaving me to die in this room. When I realized that, I broke into uncontrollable shaking. The helplessness threatened to suffocate me. Fear of death turned to panic, which only scrambled my already confused mind further. I grabbed a chair, swinging it at the window at the door. But all my attempts ended in crushing failure. Anyone! I clawed at the door, begging for help. Someone open the door! Anyone! Water. I need water. 1 drop. That's all I need. I'm going to die in here. Someone. Anyone. Mother. Father. Didier. Georgia. Someone open the door, please. Help me. Someone. I need water. My throat hurts. It burns. I'm so weak. Someone. Water. Dear. Georgia. Anyone. Is that water for me? Irony. How miserable we are in the Bollinger estate. Excuse me. I'll help myself to some more tea then. We'll make it through this part. We'll make it through this part. You'll see. You'll see. Yes, it is I, Storybuns. Reading a terrible story. Okay. Let's hurry along. But not a single soul came to the door. With no food or water, the third day came and went, and then the fourth. By that point, I was expectedly devoid of any sense of dignity, and I sat there, covered in all manner of human filth, as my body quickly wasted away. Still, I clung to the vain hope that someone would open that door. It was all I had. Occasionally I would hear footsteps. Whenever I did, I mustered up what meager strength I had left to bang on the door. Whoever's there, please, open the door. I am begging you, someone. But my pleas fell on deaf ears. Though they didn't respond to me, I could hear the Abigails muttering to one another in the corridor. Did you hear that? Yes, I did. I wonder what's gotten into Lady Michelle. They say she was cursed. Maybe she sold her soul to the devil. How dreadful. We should stay away from that door. If we don't want to be cursed too. I'm not cursed. I did not sell my soul to the devil. I'm kind of scared. I might have to find work somewhere else. Gotta make sure we stay away from that door. Why do you think I'm cursed? I never did anything wrong. Lady Michelle has lost her mind. She's deranged. I'm scared even thinking about her. I am not deranged. My mind is perfectly fine. She's right crazy. She's right mad. No, I'm not. I'm perfectly normal. Someone, please get me out of here. The 5th and then the 6th day passed, and by that point I was hovering on death's brink. I lacked even the willpower to hold myself up against the door, so I simply lay on the cold floor, waiting for the end. I felt no sorrow, no anger, no despair, nothing. I had been sucked completely dry. I couldn't even compose a coherent thought. Which is why when the door I had so yearned to open actually did, and someone stepped inside, standing over me, I was unable to process it. My God, what a mess. Hey, are you still alive? Well, look at that. I was afraid you would be dead. was Amy's voice. I'm sorry, really. I didn't mean you much harm. But after what you said in front of the whole family, I was a little upset. I couldn't tell what she was saying. All I could hear were garbled sounds, and all I could do was moan at her. The servants are all afraid of you now, after your little episode. So I volunteered to bring you your food in their place. Everyone was so grateful. I don't think anyone likes you anymore. Eventually, my muddy mind managed to make sense of the thing she was holding in her hands. A tray of food. I could smell it from here. At first, I just gave your food to a stray cat. I wish you could have seen it devouring every last bit.
What?
What I didn't know, though, was that people can die in just a few days without water. I never intended to kill you. I just didn't know. So I'm really sorry about that.
What?
But you're alive. For someone so physically weak, you sure are tenacious. Isn't that nice? You have one thing you can be proud of.
What?
What was that? Water? You want water? Hold on. I've got some right here. She picked up a goblet with her delicate fingers. My hand swiped weakly at the air, trying to grab it. A grin spread across her lips, and then she let go. Go on. Drink. You'd better hurry, or the rug will absorb it all. You wanted water, didn't you? Then drink. In that moment, I could hear the sound of the last of my dignity crumbling away. Driven solely by my survival instinct, I bent down toward the rug, pressing my lips against the spreading puddle. You really did it. This is too good, Michelle. You look like a cat. No, cats are much more graceful. I can't stop laughing. The daughter of a prestigious family, the Bollingers, sucking water out of a carpet. I wish I had a painter here to capture this image on canvas. So, you know, I accept that I made a mistake, Michelle. I promise I'll bring you your food from now on. I'll take very good care of you. This is going to be fun. Listening to her childish yet deeply malicious laughter, I understood. I was her plaything now. My hell was only just beginning. Having gotten food and water, my body recovered somewhat. But I was hardly in peak condition. That would take some time, given how badly malnourished I had been. Amy continued to treat me like her pet, constantly stoking the flame of rage within me. But I was too weak to stay on my feet for long, and talking hurt my throat. I assume it was a calculated effort on her part to maintain power over me, to keep me as miserable as possible. She always had a smirk on her face as she gazed down on me. Open up. Today I'm going to feed you myself. What's the matter? I can't put anything in with your mouth closed. Or do you want to starve to death?
Amy, why are you doing this?
Why? Because it's fun. Why else?
You married into this family, you sick wench. What gives you the idea you can treat me?
Are you saying that because I married in, I'm of lesser stature than you? That's true. I am. But what's your point? You think you can intimidate me with formalities?
Amy.
Here. I would rather you not speak my name if you wouldn't mind.
That doesn't excuse your treatment of me. Someone, Didier or Georgia, will make you pay for this.
You don't have a single friend here, Michelle. No one to take your side. And no one to say a thing about me playing with you. Assuming you were, somehow, able to tell someone, no one would believe you.
That's a lie.
Do you have any idea what people say about you? They say you've gone mad. They say you've sold your soul to the devil. Do you honestly believe anyone would trust you?
I am not mad.
I don't know. You look plenty mad to me.
Fine. Then I'll run away. I'll escape from this estate. And from you.
You think you could survive out in the world with that body? A stray cat could lift more than you. You'd never find work. I give you a week, at best.
You can't be so sure of that. Maybe I could make it on my own.
Maybe. But either way, there's no way you're getting out. You try to run, someone might just cut your legs off.
How is that at all necessary?
Don't ask me. Maybe because your curse hasn't broken? You know, you're lucky you're even allowed to live. And you should be grateful to me for volunteering to take care of you. Nobody else wanted to have anything to do with it. So, if you want to keep living, you have to show me some respect. And you have to do everything I tell you to. Understood?
So this is the real you? You just pretending to be respectable. When in reality, not only are you sleeping with Didier, you're a downright vile woman. You've been putting on an act ever since you got here.
Oh, you make it sound like I'm somehow worse than anyone else. I'm quite normal, thank you.
How is this normal?
Listen to me, Michelle. The side of me you see right now isn't necessarily the whole thing. The sweet girl I am for the family is also me. And when I held you in my arms, that too was me. I'm not putting on an act.
Liar!
Although, to tell you the truth, I never actually liked you, so that part was a lie, yes. If Mother hadn't asked, I would have never even considered getting friendly with you.
Amy!
You know, life as a noble woman is so dull. It's so restrictive. No room for love at all. So, can you really blame me? There so happened to be the most wonderful night right there for the taking. Why shouldn't I have gone after him? I'm still young. Let me have some fun. You know? Not like women have much else in the way of recreation.
So it wasn't Didier, but you who seduced him?
And it all would have worked out beautifully, too. If you had only kept your mouth shut. You ruined our family gathering and damaged my reputation. And you called me a whore. That wasn't very nice now, was it? Is it any surprise I'm a little sore? You brought this on yourself, Michelle.
I brought this on myself? Don't you dare! Nothing justifies what you're doing to me. I'm not the disturbed one. You're a crazy whore, and don't you try and pretend otherwise, damn you.
Oh my. Such language. You're not being very nice to me, Michelle. Girls aren't supposed to talk like that, you know.
I'm not a girl.
Then what are you?
I'm a man.
A man? With that body? Amy quietly rose, grabbed me by the hair, and shoved me to the floor.
Let go of me.
You call yourself a man? You can't even get out of a girl's grip. I'm not all that strong either. In fact, I'd say I'm rather weak. Just a small, powerless girl. If you were a man, you would have no problem breaking free, malnourished or otherwise. But you can't. She traced the lines of my emaciated ribs with her nails, traveling slowly, slowly, down my chest. But even ignoring that, you're missing the most important part.
Stop. Get off me.
I tried to shove her aside with all the strength I could squeeze out of my arms. But as Amy has said, I couldn't even overpower a girl. All I could do was lie there beneath her and beg.
Get off me.
Groaning in anger and frustration. Her finger came to a stop just above my navel. She looked up at me with a sweet smile, and then pulled her hand away. And just as a wave of relief spread through me, she shoved me back, jumped up, and slammed her foot between my legs. I shuddered as the pain jolted up my spine. Amy looked down on me as I screamed. Yeah! 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 A smirk spread across her face. Oh my, does that hurt? There's a surprise. Even without boy parts, it still hurts?
Stop. Stop, please.
And she didn't stop at stepping on me.
I'm begging you. Stop, please.
Yeah! The gaz me. The gaz bun. She dug her toes into my flesh. What are you exactly, Michelle? From the feel of it, you don't quite have proper girl parts either.
Amy, please.
On top of the physical pain, unbearable humiliation and shame corroded away at my spirit. What a strange creature you are.
Stop!
If I could have died right then and there, honestly, that would have been preferable to the emotional hell she was putting me through. You should take a look at yourself in a mirror, Michelle. You're crying, sobbing like a sad little girl. Not much of a boy, are you? And you lusted after me with this body? Seriously. You're disgusting. I can't believe you actually had the gall to fall for me. Amy's abuse was not a one-time occurrence. As she had promised, she came to feed me every day. But her arrival brought nothing but anguish and torture. Every day she chipped away more of my spirit. But I hadn't succumbed to her yet. My anger still overpowered any fear I felt. About a week after Amy started caring for me. Have you been a good girl, Michelle? I brought you your supper. I'll set it right here for you. What's the matter, Michelle? Your food's right there. It's going to get cold. Go on. Eat. But no using your hands. Crawl over and use your mouth. Come on. Eat. Or would you rather I fed you? What was that? Do you have something to say? I can't understand a word you're saying, Michelle. If you would eat, you would have enough strength to talk. Hmm?
I'm going to kill you, Amy.
Yeah. Akuja. Excuse me, I'm fine. That was, I believe, the first time in my life I had felt a sincere, overpowering desire to end someone's life. I wanted to see her dead. With my hands and legs tied up, I lurched for her, and like the dog she so wanted me to be, I chomped down on her wrist. The taste of someone else's blood was far more unpleasant than I had expected. I felt like I was going to vomit. But I was determined to not let go of her wrist for any reason. I would gnaw through it to the bone and rip her entire hand off. She could beat me unconscious, and I still wouldn't let go. She would have to kill me to get me off of her. I wanted her to feel the same pain I felt, and she trampled on me. Let go! My body never did what I wanted it to, though. I could swear on my life I wouldn't release her arm, but I could never seem to make good on my determination. Amy's foot flew up into my emaciated gut. The pointed tip of her shoe dug into my flesh like a knife, and I collapsed to the floor in a fit of convulsions. And just as I was about to cough up a mouthful of stomach acid, she rammed her foot into my abdomen a second time. She didn't even give me enough time to get to my feet. let alone fight back before she kicked me again. Again and again and again and again. My gut, my chest, my legs, and my face. What's wrong with you? Don't you get it? You're not the one in control here. You should be thanking me. What you did to me that day was incredibly hurtful. Yet here I am bringing you your food. Can you not see just how kind-hearted I am? So why would you go and bite me? What would possess you to do such a thing? Michelle, who's getting his ass beat, gasping for breath, my consciousness slipping away from me. I caught a glimpse of Amy's eyes as she swung her leg back for another kick. And when I did, a single word rose to my mind. Demon. Isn't that something? You can't even stand up to a girl. I'm not that strong. I'm weak and frail. This is the first time I've ever kicked someone. I have absolute control over you, Michelle. You understand that now, right? You learned your lesson, didn't you? Not an ounce of strength remained within me. My tongue and cheeks were torn up, and my mouth tasted of blood. Thinking herself weak and having no experience in the ways of physical violence, she knew no restraint. The ignorant can be so much more brutal and viciously relentless than the seasoned. My vision had gone red, and I could hardly feel my own face. There was a strange gurgling sound with every breath I took. Jeez. What am I going to do about this hand? It hurts like crazy. Oh, I know. I'll tell everyone you finally lost it, and tried to bite my hand off. They'll all feel so bad for me. I can just see the sad looks on Didier and George's faces.
They will not.
You know, your brothers have completely given up on you. A deranged sister is nothing but trouble. You know what you are, Michelle? You're a demon child. Why was I the demon and not her? Why did no one come to my aid? Several times I considered ending my life, but every time I did, memories of better days came back to me, of the time before my body had transformed, the days when we were all so sure of our happiness, kept me chained to life. Why couldn't things still be the way they had been then? In my heart, they hadn't changed at all. So how had things ended up like this? Michelle? Oh, Michelle? Are you in there? Did you need something, Georgia? Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Do I have to need something to talk to you? No, but you looked like you were in an unusually good mood, so I thought... Well, why wouldn't I be? It's a wonderfully gloomy day out. I would understand if it were clear out, but can you really say it's wonderfully gloomy?
Well, you can't be outside for very long when it's not cloudy, so in our case, this is perfect weather.
Oh.
What do you say we go for a little stroll while we can? Dee's around today too, so we can see if he's up for it. It'll be like old times. We've been running around like headless chickens lately, so we haven't had much of a chance for a sibling outing. We'll have Mum make us a lunch, and then... Oh, we'll take a couple of horses up to the forest's edge.
I'm fine with that, if you are.
You bet your bum I am. I asked, after all. Now, come on, let's go. An outing, you say? Yep. Hop on a couple of horses and head for the forest. I haven't done this in a while, so I figured, why not? I see. If Michelle is coming, I see no reason to say no. Let's set off right away. Whoa, slow down there. Are you saying you wouldn't go if it was just me? It's Michelle or nothing? Of course. Why on earth would I want to go horse riding alone with you? I'd rather drown myself. Oh, the gasp! Oh, Josh.
Could I perhaps make a small request?
Go on, let's hear it.
Do you mind if I hold the horse's reins?
Oh, that's all? By all means. I'll be there behind you to make sure nothing happens, so have at it. But do be warned, my horse is a bit temperamental. If you're not gentle, he'll start getting moody with you. I doubt that'll be a problem for you, though, Michelle.
I'll be careful.
Hey, wait, slow down, guys. Look at that, Michelle. George is still fumbling around all the way back there.
Are we going a bit too fast?
No, you're fine. That you're able to get past that so quickly is proof of your talent. Finally caught up. This isn't a race, you know. Why can't we enjoy the scenery? Indulge in some nice pathos. A warrior and his horse need not have pathos. Isn't that right, Michelle?
It certainly is, Jidya.
Come on, you guys. Be nice. This was my idea. You've really taken after old D, haven't you, Michelle? I, for one, would rather see you admiring flowers, or dancing with butterflies, or gazing out at a beautiful sunset, or enjoying poetry. More pathos, my dear sister, and less barbarism.
Long swords, suits of armor, and tales of heroic knights are so much more appealing, though.
You've let him get his claws in too deep, Michelle. Oh dear, oh my. I'm going to have 2 meathead siblings before I know it. What did you just call me?
No, you two. Why don't we stop here for a picnic?
Seconded. My stomach's been rumbling up a storm. I took a few bites earlier because I was about to die back there. I hope your horse throws you into a river. Hey, so the other day, I brought a cat home.
A cat?
Yeah, speckled from head to tail and ugly as a witch's ass. Josh? I was gonna keep it in my room, but Mum flipped when she saw it. Keep that filthy thing out of my house. I wish there was something we could do about how much of a clean freak she is. George, try not to stress Mother too much. You're unpredictable enough as it is.
It would be nice, though, to have a cat, I mean.
You think so? Then how about this? We'll keep it in the courtyard. I'll feed it on days when it's clear, and you can do it when it's cloudy, Michelle.
I don't know what cats eat, though. I bet it'd like pastries.
Do you want to kill the cursed thing? I cannot approve of anyone taking care of an animal who thinks that's a good idea.
Sorry.
Pull the stick out of your ass, D. Life's all about experimentation. Live and learn. Don't experiment on animals. Well, if you're gonna be like that, how about you help out too? You can keep an eye on us and make sure we don't do anything stupid. But now you're trying to drag me into this? Already done. You're in. It's settled. Damn it, Georgia. Now, I need to come up with a name. Have any ideas, Michelle?
You want me to name it?
Not very often you get to give another living thing a name. Well, I guess you might have a few more chances down the road. Consider this practice. Something elegant and beautiful. We've got this. Now, George, don't put so much pressure on her. You have a point, though. It is a good opportunity. Don't stress too much about it, Michelle. Just choose something you like.
You said the cat was speckled and ugly?
Yep. One look and you'll be laughing so hard you can't breathe.
Alright then. Ugly Speckles.
That's its name? It would seem you do not have a future in the arts, Michelle.
But you said it was ugly and speckled, Georgia.
I did, yes. You could have tried a little harder than that, though. But, you know, why not? Ugly Speckles it is. It's actually kind of charming when you say it out loud. Ugly Speckles. It's not that funny. It kind of is, though. It is quite something indeed. The more I think about it, the more...
Not you too, did you?
We should bring Ugly Speckles on our next outing. Sitting together beneath the clouds, having lunch. That we should. When Michelle's gotten a little bigger, let's do this again. The three of us and our ugly speckled cat. You said it. We're all good friends here after all. I've never been your friend, though. God, must you always be such a jerk?
Did you, Georgia? Was Amy telling the truth? Do you really think I'm nothing but trouble? Do you think I've lost my mind? That I'm a demon child? Did you, Georgia? Why do you not open this door for me and let me out? Were the things I said that day really so heinous? Do you resent me too, like Amy? Did you, Georgia? How do you think about me now? Is this body really so unusual? If I hadn't undergone the transformation I did, would things still have been the way they were before? Would we be able to go out to that forest again and make silly, meaningless conversation? Everyone laughing like we had then? If this body hadn't changed the way it did? would I not be trapped in this darkness? Even if that were the case, I didn't want to be a girl. If God descended from heaven and offered to change me back, I would have turned him down, because inside, I wasn't a girl. And my nightmare at Amy's hands didn't end there either. Okay, stopping for a moment, but oh, well, it's hell here. Sure is hell right now. Golly. Thoughts. Thoughts. Yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah, yes, me too. Yes, me too. Nodding. Nodding sagely. Onwards we go. As much as I loathed to admit it, I was terrified of her. Every day I dreaded the sound of the door opening. However, if I were to block the door off with furniture, I would lose my only remaining lifeline. I had no choice in the matter. It's time for supper, Michelle. I brought your favorite, parsnips. Well, but the dogs didn't eat of them anyway. But you don't mind, do you? I'm going to cut your nails today, Michelle. I need you to stay very still. You wouldn't want my hands to slip. So to make sure you do, I'm tying you up. This way you can't accidentally move. Here's your water, Michelle. It's murky? Oh, heavens me. I must have fetched it from the wash basin by mistake. It's supper time, Michelle. I brought you parsnips again. Don't worry, the dogs didn't have any of these. They didn't seem to be interested in eating them raw. What? You don't want any? Then what am I going to do with these? You know, Michelle, you're such a disgrace. Cry for me, won't you? Beg for mercy. Look at you, all that pride, gone out the window. It's hilarious, I tell you. She did everything imaginable to torture me, both physically and emotionally. To be honest, it was rather impressive, in a sick way, how she was able to come up with so many different ways to torment me. And she knew precisely what caused me the most pain. My body, and the discrepancy between what I was and what I felt I was. She delighted in telling me I wasn't male, and sometimes in showing me. But I don't think I need to describe the things she did to me in any more detail. I could think of only one way to keep myself from breaking down. I completely stopped talking, stopped struggling. Then one day, after about 6 months or so, she said with a disinterested sigh, "I'm done." And that was the last of it. By swallowing my pride and not resisting, I was able to escape from her grip. Once she was gone, the servants took over attending to me again. I was still imprisoned, but now there was a serenity in my solitude. I didn't speak with anyone. I didn't make eye contact. I didn't do anything. I just lived. But even though I had peace, I still feared Amy having a change of heart. I trembled at the possibility that one day it might be her that opened the door. But above all, I hated, despised the fact that I lived in such fear of a girl. An overwhelming self-loathing threatened to crush me. I had recurring nightmares about the things Amy had done to me. The wounds she gave me did not heal. They only grew worse, eating away at me day after day. I was beginning to lose confidence in my own sanity and the silent darkness, where there was no sense of time. The line between dream and reality blurred. I often found myself screaming, crying into the empty air. I clawed at my skin, pulled out my hair, paced back and forth across the room, pounded at the door, yelling for help, screamed some more. It was the very image of pitiful, absolute wretchedness. And every time I did, I'm sure there was someone on the other side of that door, whispering about how poor Michelle had lost her mind. Eventually, I gave up entirely. Terrible days, and a terrible woman. I say woman, but you have to bear in mind that Amy is she's like 17, so I don't really know what else to think. How terrible life is. How terrible life is in this house. My poor Michelle. More of my yeah, screaming, yeah. It was a stormy night in my 16th year. I had been confined for more than 2 years at that point. Heavy rain pounded against the windows, like thousands of little spears. I was sitting quietly on my bed, unable to fall asleep. When suddenly, there was a loud banging on the door. Michelle, are you awake? If you aren't, then hurry up and get awake. We've got big trouble. Lower your damned voice. But... When I first heard my brother's voices after so long, I thought I was hallucinating. In 2 years, they had never once come for me, no matter how hard I pounded on the door, no matter how many times I called for them. And after all that time, I didn't expect that to ever change. I'd given up, assumed they had long since cast me aside. Unable to bring myself to say anything, I simply stared at the door. When there was another bam, bam. The sound was half consumed by a crack of thunder, giving it an indescribably eerie quality. Please say something, Michelle. Seriously, there's no time. You can hear us in there, can't you? You're there behind the door, aren't you? Come on, just one word, Michelle. Is it really you? Julia? George? For a moment, they seemed to be at a loss for words. Probably because they almost didn't recognize my voice. But it was only a heartbeat. And then Julia spoke. There is a carriage waiting outside. I'm going to unlock the door so you can leave in it. Why? Because
Because Dad's talking crazy. He's saying the Bollinger family has no need for a demon child, that you're a mark of shame on our name. So he's going to have you executed. Georgia. Father wants me dead. It felt like the floor had fallen out from under me. Executed? Demon child? Mark of shame? So he was saying I didn't even deserve to live anymore? It's planned for tomorrow morning. We only just found out ourselves, which is why you prepared a way for me to escape. But why? Why do you even need to ask? Because we're family. Something terrible has gotten into Father. I clenched my teeth, fighting back a bitter, angry sigh. But I couldn't keep all those emotions bottled up for long. A maelstrom of feelings I thought I'd lost in my 2 years of imprisonment swelled up inside me, spilling from my lips. Why? Why are you doing this now? If you really felt that way, then why didn't you come sooner? 2 years I spent locked in this room. Do you have any idea how I felt in that time? Any idea how hard I had to fight, to endure? How many times I cried for your help? How hard I pounded on the door begging to be set free? But never once did you come. Not even once. Michelle, I scare you, don't I? You think I've gone insane? That I've lost my mind? That I sold my soul to the devil, don't you? No, Michelle, we don't. Then why? Why didn't you come and set me free? Michelle, No, we don't think you've lost your mind at all. So you didn't want to see me then? You didn't want to face what I'd become? Tell me I'm wrong. Did you? Georgia, you left me here. Abandoned me. For 2 whole years. Locked me away so you didn't have to see me. I'm sorry. I'm just, really busy with my art. I've been getting a ton of commissions down at the court. And Diddy is at night now, so he's up to his neck in expeditions. I'm really sorry. As am I. I cannot say that you are wrong. After what happened, I wasn't sure how I was supposed to act around you. I'm still not sure, even now. I knew I had to find the time to collect myself, but I kept putting it off, vainly hoping that time would take care of it all. And for that, I owe you an apology. But you need to understand, I do not agree with Father's decision. I do not want to lose you. I don't think you're a demon child. And Georgia feels the same. Neither of us want to see you dead. What he said, Michelle. There's not much time. We need to get you out of here. I bit down hard on my lower lip. Hard enough to draw blood. Was that, or start sobbing? It's a little late for that. Michelle, if you don't get out of here, you're going to be killed. If I'm not an angel sent from heaven, or a demon child, then what am I? What on earth am I? What are you? You're a Bollinger. You're our family. And that's all there is to it. I pray you can forgive me for averting my eyes for so long. Can I trust you? Can I trust that even if the whole world says I'm cursed, that you'll always be on my side? That you'll always be my brothers? Can I put my trust in you once more? Didier, Georgia. You absolutely can. Michelle, I swear to God on high. And I swear to the God of art. Michelle. I have no other choice, do I? I couldn't talk father out of it, could I? I would rather you didn't try. He is not a man to change his mind. If you were to show up before him, he would likely draw his sword on you himself. It would destroy Mother. I'm sorry. We're not doing this only for you. Okay. I'll go. Oh, thank goodness. The carriage will take you to a mansion, Michelle. It's a property Father purchased some time ago, but due to rumors about the house, it's abandoned. No one wants to buy it from him either, and that's unlikely to change. It's the ideal place to keep you out of sight. What kind of rumors? Well, no point in keeping it a secret. He has a right to know. They say a witch lives there. A witch? I think it's all just made up, personally. I went to check the place out and there was no one there. It was a little dreary, to be sure. I had hoped to have a better place arranged for you, but there wasn't enough time. This is only temporary, Michelle. I cannot say how long it will be, but Father will pass away eventually. When he does, Georgia will inherit the estate, and that will mean you can return. So I ask that you hold out until that time. If I don't leave, I'm going to be executed. So, send me anywhere. I won't complain. I'm glad to hear you say that. I will talk to Father and ensure he does not suspect anything. We'll make this work. Don't you worry. The long and short of it is, Dad simply wants you erased from the family. Georgia! Sorry. I wasn't trying to be mean. But anywho, once I take over, we're in the clear. You'll be acknowledged as a Bollinger. I see. Okay then. Can I open the door now? Just a minute. You're still not ready? I don't have any clothing. Right. You wouldn't, How tall are you now, Michelle? Around the same height as you, I think. You're taller than me? Damn. Alright, I'll bring you some of my clothes. Thank you. Wow, I don't think I've ever heard you say thank you without putting up a fight, Michelle. That's not true. I don't think. I'll be back soon. Get what you need together. Alright. Sitting in the carriage waiting outside, listening to the pitter-patter of the rain, I gazed out at my two brothers. I hadn't seen them in 2 years, but they hardly looked any different than how I remembered them. I was the only one who had changed, and dramatically at that. Looking at them, I couldn't help but remember the old days. Playing chess with Didier, learning to draw from Georgia, our sibling outings. However, The ominous sound of thunder crashing in the distance drowned out those memories. The mansion is several days' travel from here. Hopefully the carriage isn't too uncomfortable. I will send a package with any supplies you need once a month. Food, clothing, and something to pass the time. If there's anything you want, Michelle, just tell me. Now, or you can have a servant pass a message on to me. I can't think. Actually, wait. I can think of one thing. I would like a chess set. All right, I'll have one made. I would rather have yours. Didier, would that be possible? Are you sure you want that beaten old thing? Yes, I want that one. All right then, I'll include it in the first delivery. I'll send you something too, Michelle. Anything you want, just tell me. In that case, I would like some art tools. I'm nowhere near as much of an artist as you are, George, so they don't have to be anything special. Gotcha. So some canvas and how about some charcoal? And when you're back, I want to see what you've made with it. Okay? Okay. I know this is already hard enough on you, Michelle, but I need to ask you to do something for me. Avoid making contact with anyone who doesn't already know about you. Sir, I can't talk to anybody but the servants. Put simply, yes, tomorrow the world will consider you dead. So we cannot have people finding out you are actually alive. Especially Father. Please do this for me. I've been doing that for 2 years already. I've long since lost interest in interacting with anybody, so you don't need to ask me to keep to myself. Right. Does anyone else know I'm alive? Yes, Mother knows. In fact, this was her idea. It was. She loves you, Michelle. She really does. Mom just, is having a little trouble facing the truth. So even though she's not here to see you off, I guarantee you she doesn't want to see you dead. She wants to have you in her life again. I expect Mother will be writing you, so please, take the time to write her back. She's a troubled woman, but her love for you is true and unwavering. Will you do that? Just a quick little, hey, got your letter, doing great, will suffice. All right. Just so you know, it kills me and Dee that we can't stand up to Dad. But as long as he lives, his word is God in this house. I understand that, yes. Well, you never know. He could be gone quicker than you expect. A week from now and bam, he's dead as Dee's social life. Is there not an ounce of respect in your body? Oh, give me a break. I'm upset. He's gone way too far. And once he's dragged his ass off to the great beyond, anything goes. Surprise! Michelle was alive! Yeah, I suppose. Until then, we'll take care of things here. Tomorrow's gonna be the performance of our lives. Crying like a couple old big babies and laughing our tails off inside. You'll forgive me if I have trouble trusting that loose tongue of yours. I'm not stupid. I know this is important. Not even Amy will suspect a thing. Amy. Yeah, not even she can know. It's gonna crush her, I'm sure, but the less people who know, the better. When Georgia said her name, my whole body went shamefully cold. It had been 1.5 years since the hell she'd put me through, but every last detail of it remained carved into my mind and body. There's no way she would be even slightly sad about my death. She might act it, but she would almost certainly be elated by the news. It seemed Georgia had still yet to see what lay beneath that woman's mask. I knew you two were close. Mm-hmm. Are you worried about how this might affect her? What? She cared for you for about 6 months, didn't she? When you wouldn't let the servants in. From what I hear, you got real close to dying in there. You wouldn't even eat unless she was there. Who the hell told you that? Is that not what happened? Did something happen between you two, Michelle? Amy didn't do a damn... Never mind. I can't tell them. I can't put what I went through into words. It will only worsen my shame, especially not in front of my brothers. Georgia, how are things between you and Amy? You still letting what happened 2 years ago get to you? Well, at the time, things were a total disaster. I'm all excited about getting myself a pretty little wife, only to find out she's rocking the boat with someone else. I cried for weeks. Yeah. I'm sorry. Deep down, though, she ain't actually a bad girl. She's young and kids make mistakes. After it all came out, she turned over a new leaf. She started doting on me something serious, and well, it's hard not to let one little mistake like that go when she's trying so hard to make up with me. The age excuse doesn't work for Dee, though. For about 1 year, things were really rough between us. I didn't even want to look at her. But at the end of the day, we're family. We can get past anything. Besides, because you let the cat out of the bag, that gave me something to hold over Dee. All things considered, I'm not complaining. So, you would say you're happy then, Georgia? Sure would. Yep. Believe it or not, I'm kinda head over heels for her. Hard not to like a girl like Amy. I see. Do you really feel that bad about 2 years ago? So she's still keeping up the good girl facade around Georgia and Didier. No one else knows she's actually a sadistic, cackling demon. There's nothing less trustworthy in the world than a woman who's always smiling. But if Georgia thinks he's happy, I can't take that away from him. Michelle? Oh, right, yes. I do feel guilty about the way I lost control of my emotions and took it out on you guys. It happens to everyone. In fact, you could stand to do a little more shouting and fussing. Then you could... Because I have underdeveloped social skills. You heard that? You've got one hell of a nasty streak, huh, Dee? I'm glad to hear you're still on good terms. It wasn't my intention to pit the two of you against each other. We know. The blame falls on my shoulders. I want you to know something, Michelle. Though your transformation was too much for Mother and Father to accept, with enough time, everything will go back to the way it was before, just like it did for myself and Georgia. None of this is your fault. It was all unfortunate timing. God's a little bit of a jerk too. Try not to forget I am a knight, Georgia. In time. In time. Speaking of which, we don't have much left. I'm going to tell the coachman to set off, okay? Didier. Yes. Tell me the truth. Will the three of us ever meet again? Why would you ever ask that? Of course we will. Not a chance. Not a chance I'm letting this be our last family get-together. One last question, then. Yes. Am I your brother? Well, I mean, look at you. Don't look like much of a sister to me. So yeah, I'd say you are. I see. So long then. Farewell. And may good health bless you until we meet again. Until then, Michelle. Farewell. Before seeing me off for good, they both gave me strong, firm hugs. Didier first, and then Georges. The warmth I felt in their arms, in my family's arms, slowly spread through my chilled body, which made it that much more difficult to part ways. The wheels of the carriage rattled against the wet, stone-paved road. I stuck my head out the window, watching as they shrunk into the distance, standing there in the rain until they were completely out of view. A tightness filled my breast. Every glimmer of hope I had for my new life was matched by an equal degree of darkness and uncertainty. Would I ever make it back home? And if I did, would people still call me a demon child? Having to write mother was another uncomfortable weight on my soul. The thought of having to play a girl for her made me sick. Georgia had acted like it would be nothing, but it wasn't that easy. It was more than mere pretend. Didier had said with time things would change, but how could he be certain that those changes would be for the better? The wooden wheels turned, carrying me away to that cursed mansion. Arama. Sure is dark here. I'm going to have some more tea. Yes, that's right. Everyone, please hydrate freely. Thinking about Michelle's backstory, I truly don't know what to say at times. I almost feel like at this point in time, I should be linking like trans charities or support lines, because it's so miserable here. It's so awful in here. It's so terrible in this house.
words. 地獄, 地獄や. Again, so many terrible things happen in Fata Morgana. I feel awful for everyone. But to be honest, even though Michelle's backstory is the furthest back, it runs the furthest back, it runs the furthest back for our protagonist, I suppose. There's too many things in Michelle's backstory, I think, that feel real to me in a way that is lacking from some of the other backstories. Is a sense of being able to envision this happening around. This is of course tainted by my own personal bias, but people like Amy are. The world is full of them. And I dare say many a normal person is capable of incredible cruelty. Just has to be the right situation. When she said to Michelle, "I'm normal," I remember thinking, yeah, you are, aren't you? Which is so painful. It's very scary. The knowledge that people like Amy are plentiful in the world is scary. I'm the kind of person though who thinks that human horror is the scariest. Rather than being afraid of the unknown, the eldritch, the cryptid. Those things are very frightening, of course, but I think human beings are very frightening. So I like Amy's character, but I like her in a different way from the other women, you could say, who are despicable in this story. I think that to me, Amy is the most frightening, and it's because of how unfortunately real she feels. Maybe if you have ever met someone like Amy, you'll understand why she's so frightening. But otherwise, you might think, oh no, Morgana is so scary, or oh no, Maria is so scary, gun-toting. But I love Maria, so I can't say anything about Maria. But Amy is so akujo, she plays such a villainous role here. But if we were to look at the story from the perspective of, say, Georges, he probably lives a very pleasant life. And she is nothing short of a doting and good partner to him. Well, whatever, I guess. I know you guys are into it when I play Evil Woman. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. The next thing I know, I'm sinking into a vast void. Darkness cuffs my hands and legs, restricting my movement. Images of the past I had kept buried away for so long stream past me. This isn't how I wanted it to happen. Not coming from my own mouth, but being laid bare for all to see without my consent. That wasn't how I wanted her to find out about my secret, about my shameful history. I warned you, my dear. I told you you didn't want to reclaim your old self. If you had simply let it be, you wouldn't be here now, forced to relive it all. Now, do you understand? The tale I spun behind the fourth door was as much for you as it was for her. There you were, a young man with a sad fate. But you met a wonderful woman, fell in love with her, and then died in the arms of tragedy. The sequence of events is not far from the truth, but I was able to turn it into something enchanting and beautiful. I got rid of all the nasty little details. Your ugliness, your body troubles, all of that. Doesn't it seem a bit unfair, Michelle? You tore down the walls around Giselle's heart, around her past, but you wanted to keep your own nice and safe and hidden away. She has every right to be upset. You were afraid she wouldn't accept you, were you not? And that's precisely what happened. But can you honestly blame her? The truth you've hidden away is not something most would be able to accept. The prince who came riding in to save her—
Silence!
wasn't actually a man.
Please. Enough. I've seen enough. Let it stay buried. Please. Just stop this. I don't want to see it. I don't want anything to do with it.
What a sad little creature you are, my dear. Not a woman in this world would have any interest in you now. You've surrounded yourself with layer upon layer of walls, covered yourself with this patchwork, barely held together quilt of masks, and it's the only thing keeping you together. You're the frailest one of all, the weakest. And it's about time you accepted that and stopped trying to fight it.
I am not weak.
Ah, is that so? Let's proceed with the tale then, shall we? Face the one you hate most in this world, yourself, your weakness, your ugliness. Face it and despair. Oh, we're not done yet. I was right.
Don't.
Again. Once again, my own desires, my own wishes are completely irrelevant. The past sprawls out before me once more. And the witch is exactly right. I despise the man I was then, teeming with vain hope and foolish dreams. I would rather pretend that part of me never existed. But I have no choice. I'm dragged back into the life I once lived. I please for mercy, fading into dark nothingness. Progress is so slow. I couldn't remember how long it had been since the capital had disappeared into the distance. But I'd been on the road for some time now. We had long since left paved roads behind. The carriage rocked back and forth as it proceeded down the rough dirt path. For hours, I stared through the window as unfamiliar scenery flowed past. Eventually, a fog settled over the area, making it difficult to discern night from day. We made our way through dark, dense woods, and beyond them, like the world fading into view after a dream, a mansion appeared before us. All the windows were either shuttered or boarded, encasing the house in darkness. In a way, it felt like all I had done was move from one prison to a much larger one. Briefly, I thought they had possibly been sealed to keep anyone from seeing me inside. But my coming here was a very recent development. More likely, then, the house had been in this condition when it was initially purchased. Quite the piece of property my father had found himself with. I wondered if he had been swindled by its previous owner. It was a gloomy, uninviting place, but it didn't appear to be in disrepair. The coachman left my luggage outside the door, gave me an empty farewell, then went on his way. I was entirely alone. I spent some time just staring out at the forest, but naturally, there was nothing of interest to be found there, so I quietly turned around and opened the door to the mansion. It's certainly dark. I could barely even see my own feet. Briefly, I'd considered trying to unshutter a window or two, but ended up deciding against it. The less inviting the place looked, the easier it would be for me to avoid contact with the outside world, as Didier had recommended. Standing there in the darkness for several minutes, my eyes gradually grew accustomed to the lack of light. While it was hardly ideal, it was sufficient to take a look around the house. The inside didn't seem to have received the same level of care as the outside. Everything was dusty, and the air was many years stale. But I wasn't in a cleaning mood, so I dug through my luggage for a bundle of candles, lighting one with a flint. Oh. A stained glass window. Examining the large room I found myself in, I came across a stained glass window depicting an angel. The archangel after whom I had been named looked solemnly down upon me. Quite the joke. 2 columns of evenly spaced pews ran the length of the room, all facing the multicolored window. I set the candlestick on a podium of some sort, which is when I realized. This is a chapel. A flat length of silver, bent in the middle, was mounted to the pulpit's face. When I saw it, I knew exactly what it used to be. A cross. The pews weren't facing the stained glass, but the cross. Why, though? It felt as though the mansion had been built up around the chapel rather than the opposite. I was perplexed as to why anyone would do that. But of course, there was no one around to sate my curiosity. Taking the candlestick back in hand, I made my way beyond the pulpit. There sat a small metal door. I pressed one hand against the cool surface and my heart leapt. It was abnormally cold. Though the door itself seemed perfectly normal, an inexplicable anxiety spread through me. It was a very unusual sensation. My instincts told me I should stay far, far away. And my heart told me it was my duty to see what lay beyond.
What am I going to find back there?
After a few moments' hesitation, I decided to act in opposition to my instincts. I was looking at a long spiral staircase. The wooden stairs stretched so high I couldn't tell where they ended.
An observation tower, perhaps?
As if being pushed forward by some inhuman force, I mounted the staircase. By the third or fourth loop, soft light began peeking into the tower through regularly spaced rectangular openings in the stone walls. Through one such window I gazed outside, and far off in the distance, beyond the seemingly endless ocean of trees, I saw a small village.
Nowhere I'm ever going to go. So many stairs.
It had been quite some time since I had exerted myself this much. I hardly had any opportunity locked away in my chambers. With every step I took, I could hear my joints creaking and my muscles screaming. I was long since out of breath, only staying upright with the help of the wall.
This is pitiful. Damn it.
But turning back never occurred to me. I had to keep climbing, had to make it to the top. And it was that feeling of necessity that pushed my exhausted body upward. By the time I reached the top, I was practically gasping for air. Sweat streamed down my forehead. I wiped it aside, turning my gaze toward yet another door. But unlike the first,
What on earth?
a tangle of rope covered the surface. Layers upon layers of it, making its intent abundantly clear. Nothing shall come in or out. It didn't look like it had been put there recently either, as much of it was rotted through. Out of curiosity, I grabbed at the coil and yanked. The rope snapped in several places, chunks falling limply to the floor. That wasn't enough to allow the door to open, though. People only seal doors like this for a reason. Largely because they didn't want or couldn't allow others to see what hid behind them.
Like what they did to me.
For a few moments, I felt as though I was looking down at myself from outside my body. If it hadn't been this man, but someone else standing there, would they have turned back at the sight of the sealed-off door, acting as though nothing was there? Or would they have done as I did? I ground my teeth, a mix of annoyance and bitterness rushing through me, but I did not hesitate. I held the flame of the candle up to the wall of rope, careful not to set the whole thing ablaze. Slowly, carefully burning through them one by one. It was repetitive and time-consuming, but I persisted, wiping away sheets of sweat before it streamed into my eyes. The sun was well on its way down before I finally managed to expose the door. I took a deep breath, looked up at it, and gulped. There was something indescribably chilling about the door. And then I pushed it open. A barely noticeable breeze brushed past me. A single ray of sunlight shone into the room. coming from a single window sitting high atop the wall. It cast a milky white patch of light on the hard floor, revealing the fact that I was not alone. The rumors say a witch lives in the mansion. There I saw, in this cursed house, a skeleton with only one arm. A cursed mansion for a cursed man. It was like I was destined to end up here. I had no way of finding out who the skeleton belonged to, so I left it there, at the top of the tower, and retreated into thought. I wondered to myself, how had the one-armed person died? How had they felt, locked in that room, staring up at that sole window, so far out of reach? About the only thing they would have seen was the sky and the occasional bird. Had they yearned for more light? Or had they come to despise the tiny patch of it that trickled into the room? Had they been some sort of wicked criminal, imprisoned for wrongdoing? Not all prisoners are necessarily bad people. Having been branded with a non-existent curse, I couldn't help but think that perhaps something similar had happened to whoever they were. Vainly reaching out for the sun, constantly praying for rescue that would never come. What had gone through their mind as they withered away? Would anyone ever come for me? Would my brothers keep their word? Or would I, years from now, end up another pile of dry bones somewhere in this house? Unwanted and alone, robbed of all hope, with no one but the darkness to talk to as it sunk its teeth deeper and deeper into me. That corpse could be me in the future. Did you, Georgia? Did you really send me here to keep me hidden? Or is this to be my grave? Can I put my faith in you? Can I trust you when you say I'll be able to return? That everyone will happily accept me? That we'll all be together again? That we'll play chess? That we'll draw pictures? That nobody will be left out? All I really wanted was for people to accept me for who I was. To accept that I was a man. No. That I had grown to resemble a man. That I had the heart of a man. I didn't need anything else. I didn't want to cause anyone anguish. I didn't want to hate anyone. I simply wished to be who I was. No, who I wanted to be. And I didn't want to be treated like I was strange or different. If that was asking too much, then at the very least, I wanted to have one person in my life who truly understood me. Don't worry, Michelle. That one person is coming. Didier, Georges, I pray that you can be that for me. Lurking quietly in the mansion's all-encompassing darkness, I waited and hoped that the day might arrive when I could come out of hiding. However, 1, 2, 3 years later, I had still not been set free. Only my mother wrote me, and in all her letters she said the same thing. When your curse is broken, come back home, sweetheart. When your curse is broken, I want you back in my life. When your curse is broken, everything will be back to normal. I wait expectantly for the day you are free of that terrible curse. The curse would never be broken, though. What I was now was what I was meant to be. All that time I had spent as a girl, none of that was real. Didier had said he didn't think I was cursed. My brothers didn't think I was some hellish demon child. So no, the curse would never be broken. Because there was no curse to break. I wasn't cursed at all. There was no damned curse. But the flow of time eroded away at me, slowly killing any confidence I had once had. Sucking me dry of all trust for others and myself. With enough time, I started questioning my own beliefs about what I was. Started thinking that perhaps I was cursed. Much like they had at the Bollinger estate, the servant who came by every month did his best to avoid making eye contact. But beyond just bringing me food, he was also checking in on me and making sure I didn't attempt to run away. And every month, he probably went back and told Mother the same thing, that my curse had still not been broken. Okay, before we get on to the next part of the story, I'm going to stop us here. And we're going to... Oh, Michelle. Oh, what misery. Oh, what misery. Thank you, composer. It's true, those letters are not very encouraging. Sorry, I know I should stop using the word trans to describe Michelle because technically Michelle is intersex and there are some complicated nuances there. But spiritually, I think Michelle is trans. And, you know, he has a very unsupportive household. So many things to think about. So many things to wither about in Michelle's backstory. We are not done yet, unfortunately, as you can see. I wasn't able to make it through all of it. But at the very least, he has been freed of the Bollinger estate and transferred to a gloomy mansion that is haunted by a witch. A witch who we know is also torturing him. Again! But yes, thank you for joining me as we read through The House in Fata Morgana. Oh, Michelle's backstory makes me want to lie face down. Oh, there's so much misery in The House in Fata Morgana, but Michelle is truly so... Oh, I was tearing my hair out while I was reading his story for the first time. And at that point in time as well, I didn't know how long this novel really was. Obviously, I was just going through it for the first time. So by the time I was reading it, it was definitely something like 2 or 3 a.m. It was some unfortunate time to be awake. And I remember, yes, I remember the intensity of I guess, woe, of realizing that despite all of the terrible things that had happened in the story up until now, there was still more to happen, still more terrible things. And yeah, oh dear. Oh dear. To think that this was the kind of life he had led. To think that this was the kind of family he had. But, you know, there will be a little bit of positivity the next time we read, just because we know Giselle is coming, even though they have quite a rocky start to their relationship. And, you know, I'm looking forward to Michelle being able to find love, even if it is not... even if it is only temporary. It always is. Oh. I hope you guys enjoyed it, despite it all. Next time I will do my best to finish Michelle's backstory, I think. If we can finish this chapter, then I can rest assured and go away for my Christmas period. I will be away until the new year, but I do have plans, indeed, to stream a little bit more. Hopefully, I want to. The desire is there. Whether that's Fata Morgana or scrapbooking or other things. If there's something that you really want me to do or to read or to play, then you can let me know. Otherwise, for now, it's finishing this. This is the goal. But yes. Time for Bun to scurry away. I will hopefully see you next time. Thank you for joining me. Wish you a wonderful evening. Good night.